Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OafDiscussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. With me, as always, Mr. Brent.
Doing it for the culture today.
Yeah.
Shayna.
Just be honest, all these things look like a Build-A-Bay.
And Webb.
It looked like he died, and it's like, well, I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OafDiscussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. Man with the gift here, uplift, always on time, and never switching shifts. We're back again with our...
It's a large ass keyboard. You pressing every time you sitting there saying all that.
Boop, 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 boop. Big, giant mechanical keyboard. We're back again for another week in review, and specifically this week was Comic-Con. And we got some music stuff to talk about as well, but we'll figure out how we want to do that. But as always, with me today is just Mr. Webb.
What's going on, Oaf?
Nothing much. Mr. Brent is tied up right now. Hopefully he might be able to join. We'll see. But if not, he sends his well wishes. But with that said, as we always start out with our weeks, kind of go in from there, and we'll kind of see where this leads. But I guess I'll start it off. Nothing crazy this week except for the weather.
Yeah.
That was the main thing. And that was primarily Friday. We got hit with like a big storm here, so work was obviously insane on Friday.
I've never seen debris just out and about, just on the roads and shit, from rain.
Yeah, that was the funny thing, because we had like, on Friday, we were kind of like on standby when we first got there, like, okay, like be ready. Like, we're going to send you guys out, me and my reporter. And it was funny because it was the reporter I was working with. It was his last day because he's moving to New York and getting another job.
Yeah.
So we were like waiting, and like I was standing outside just kind of like watching the storm just kind of like roll in, like getting closer and closer. I'm like, man, this is going to be bad. And they were like, hey, we're going to send you to such and such. And then they were like, we were about to leave. And then they were like, wait a minute, we'll wait a second. Because I think our main chief meteorologist was like, wait, because you don't want to send them like right into the heart of this thing.
Yeah.
But it kind of ended up happening anyway, because then like right when it hit, they were like, go, we need you to go to Midway, which is a town near where we are, probably about 35 minutes away, a little small town. And we started going, and I had never heard the wind moving like that, like the train noise that everybody always talks about, like with tornadoes.
Okay.
Like it sounded like it was just like fucking blasting through any enclosed or like two buildings, or like in our case, our garage, which is like sandwiched like with the roof and then an opening in the middle. So the wind was just blasting through there. And then when we went out and started going to try to get out of town, it was like that, like the scene from the movies when you see like it's a storm and they're trying to make it to like warn everybody or like get to shelter, and then like trees are falling the road and trucks are swerving and
That's
like
funny.
it was exactly like that, because they're like, we were coming out of the station and there's this big tree like fell in the road. This car like swerved. We had to swerve, and then we finally made it down to the main road, and then they're doing construction, and the wind just basically looked like somebody had put their arms in between all the like cones that are on the side and just like went like that and like pushed them all out and pushed them in the center of the road in random intervals. So it just became like a fucking slalom like through those. And then at that whole time, everything's blowing. The wind is like insane, and the rain is literally flying in sideways.
Oh, so you actually got to actually see it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. So we were in the middle of it, and apparently, off the kind of like ratings and stuff that we got, as far as like the wind, apparently it was like 70 is what we were picking up, but then
Miles per hour?
yeah,
Huh.
but then, which is technically hurricane force. But then the thing is, there's a I forgot what it's called, but the wind measuring tool. There's one on top of the big cranes downtown here in Lexington where they're doing construction, building these new skyscrapers. There's some up there, and they said they registered 100 up there. And that's not even tornadoes. That's just straight winds. So it wasn't even a tornado. It was just like the wind just got up that much and was just fucking running through everything.
Wow. See, I missed all of that. 'Cause at my job, where I'm at, my desk, I can kind of see a window.
Okay.
And it's a big ass window, and I can see the parking lot from there.
Yeah.
And it looks like, oh, it looks like it's about to rain. Oh, it looks like it's raining. And then
then you see a car fly by.
Like, damn, or probably should have.
Right,
but no, every now and then I'll sit there and look over there. Oh, it looks like it's raining pretty hard. I can't hear the wind. I can't see it or nothing like that.
Yeah.
The lights will flicker on in the office a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, damn, okay. I didn't catch the thunder or lightning or nothing like that. And I was like, wow, that's raining pretty hard apparently.
Yeah.
And then I clock out. I walk out to the parking lot. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
It's just like disarray. Like,
Everything just looked just trash.
Yeah.
And then traffic lights were gone, so that was a bitch
to
navigate. Yeah.
Our 4 o'clock, because we have a 4 o'clock show with 4, 5, 6, whatever. And right before we left, the 4 o'clock was starting, and that was right when the storm hit, and it killed the show. It completely shut the station down. And it was funny because I was in the bathroom, like waiting for my report, like waiting for us to get news where we were going. And I'm sitting there using the bathroom. And then all of a sudden it was like, beer. And I'm like, ah, shit. Like this is, because it was like the bathroom wall is like facing one of the outer walls, like facing west where the storm was coming from.
Okay.
So you just started to hear like the wall, like sound like somebody was like trying to like bust through the wall. And I'm like, damn. And all of a sudden it was just like, brr, and it just, the whole station shut down. And we've got this massive generator, obviously, to stop, to circumvent that. But it was such a big shutdown that it took like a few minutes before the generator could kick in and at least power the station back up. So it was down for at least like a minute. And then all of a sudden, finally, the generator was like kicked in, which I've never seen it dip that hard, but it hit pretty fucking hard. But other than that, pretty much same old thing as usual, besides the crazy weather. I've been playing, I'm trying to think of the new games that I've been playing that I picked up. I picked up Hollow Knight on the Switch. It's fucking excellent. It's a 2D side scroller, kind of, definitely Metroidvania type game.
Okay.
Really good. The combat's excellent. The art style's gorgeous, and it's got some of the best music I've heard since probably like Nier. As far as like in-game music. Been playing that. I just started playing Path of Exile on the Xbox. It's free, and it's basically like Diablo. It's really fucking good. And then I also got Octopath Traveler for the Switch as well, which is really fucking good. And then, of course, everybody's been playing Absolver and stuff like that.
Free this past week.
Yeah, it was free on PlayStation.
Okay,
so yeah,
I'll elaborate.
So I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that, because when I saw that game first, I was like, oh, this is like, I was thinking like you, Brent, Jacob. I'm like, this is a perfect game, because everybody, like, we all like love and appreciate like martial arts stuff, and this game's like one of the most in-depth and customizable martial arts like fighting system I've seen. And I'm a person that loves, like, I like 2D fighters, but I love 3D fighters way more.
Okay.
And that's across the board. So like when you look at like the Naruto games, I like that fighting, like where you move around a arena in 3-dimensional space than just the 2D.
Okay.
So yeah, Absolver is like kind of in that same vein, but it's definitely more open, more like I guess you could say like more of like a brawler, but very well. One of the best fighting systems I've played. But yeah, other than that, same old jazz, same old shit. And then also all the Comic-Con stuff, which we'll get into in more depth. But one of the things that I really didn't even think about initially, but of how much I didn't know about Shazam. And I kind of went down a research like rabbit hole after watching that trailer, but we'll talk about that.
All right.
But yeah, so how have you been, brother?
I'm good. I found out how lazy I really am.
Okay.
Because it wasn't yesterday. Mm-hmm. It must have been Friday. No, I'm sorry. It was yesterday. Excuse me. Today's I forgot what today was.
Yeah.
All right. I found out I was so damn lazy. I tried to make the bed while I was still in it.
Or were you trying to like throw it under yourself?
Oh, like I was sitting there going like, oh, the fitted sheet's kind of off. Let me just kind of roll that over here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let me go ahead and it's like she left like this side of the bed's empty now. She's in the shower. I'll just go ahead and fold that over there.
Yeah.
All right. I kind of got a little burrito situation going on. So if I just roll a certain way, it doesn't wrinkle up the other side.
Yeah, you're good.
And then I can sit there and lay. Yeah. So I just kept trying to it would have been much easier to just get my ass up
and make it
the bed. But
Right,
no,
right.
I was like, nah, let me just a couple more minutes. Just pull the bed over here. Let's pull that sheet right there.
That's funny.
And another thing, staying on the topic of being in the bed,
Mm-hmm.
just this morning, by dreaming and then doing a quick Google search,
Okay.
thanks to a nightmare I had,
Okay.
I found out that alligators and crocodiles can actually climb trees.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know this until I didn't know this
I
until
didn't
the
know that
dream.
either. Yeah, I didn't know that.
And then I sit there and said it, and I was like, okay, I had to wake up. I had to get up. It was like,
I gotta figure
because of what the fuck just happened there. And then I ended up looking up, I just went on Google, and I was like, can alligators climb trees? Oh, shit, yes, they can. So,
See, I thought that was always a defense thing for small animals. Like, if they get, like, in some shit with a crocodile, just run up a tree and they're good. No. That's fucked up.
yeah, so, the dream started off, I just saw, like, trees just lined with fucking alligators.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then I'm sitting trying to navigate somewhere else. It's like, all right, let me just kind of slowly but surely just kind of. And then one of them flopped down, and I woke up.
It's like the Kevin Hart thing. Baby, get the blanket. Get the blanket. Throw it on there.
I tried to do that, or I should have did that Westworld shit. It's like close your eyes and count. It was like count down from 3.
Yeah,
and sit there
yeah,
just to wake
right.
up. But
Yeah,
no,
bam, you're good.
I was like, nope. It's like
I'm out.
it was lunging at me. It opened its mouth.
Yeah.
I jumped.
Yeah.
I might have been able to make it,
Right.
but I didn't want to take any chances, so I woke up.
Yeah,
Just like,
he said, "No,
I
I'm
just
out.
kind of, I
I'm
don't
out."
know how I was able to pull the plug. I just kind of just yank, wake up. All right, let me poop right quick because
You just bounced out of the Matrix instantly.
speaking of the Matrix,
That's really funny. Okay, cool.
speaking of the Matrix,
Okay.
all this week I've been obsessed with Absolver
Okay.
and playing that, and I beat the game.
Yep.
Or excuse me, no, I beat the story mode.
Yeah, but yeah.
Where this is actually one of those games where people say it's like, oh, so you beat the tutorial then?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like Nier, where it's like that's ending 1B.
See, I beat the story. I beat the game. Nah, you learn the tutorial. You learn how stuff works.
Yeah. Now your training begins. Yeah. No, it's deep.
Yeah, as far as with PvE, I've kind of got it figured out now.
Yeah.
I'm learning, like, as far as, okay, I can figure out this move if I stay in this area. I can figure out this move if I stay in this area.
Absolutely.
And now I'm getting it to the point where, okay, a certain enemy that wears this kind of outfit, they have these certain moves.
Yeah.
I still need to learn this move from them, so I'm going to sit there and look around for those fighters specifically.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
go from there. I've already, I started off as a Windfall character, which is more like Wing Chun.
That's what I've got. Yeah.
I unlocked the stagger style, which is like Drunken Fist.
Yeah. That's what I. Yep. Yep.
I'm working on Forsaken, which is kind of like karate, the
Okay.
one with the parry.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've technically unlocked that.
Yeah.
But I'm in a school right now to learn it to kind of make sure I get all the benefit rewards and stuff from it. And then after that, I'm going to go for the cult one, which is kind of like, it's weird. It's kind of like kickboxing. If kickboxers were earthbenders.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's like Muay.
How they just kind of absorb, they just absorb the
lock
damage
down.
and stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sumo kickboxing almost.
Yeah, that's a good way to. Yeah, that is true.
Holy shit.
It's such a good that game is so good because like you said, like you're trying to like instead of like in a normal RPG or a normal action adventure type game, I guess anything kind of similar to this where it's melee based, which is not as common. Mainly you've got something else, but you're pretty much like the way you work it is you farm moves, which is such a creative thing, I think. And I love the fact of like okay, like if I'm successful against this move, I will begin to understand it.
Yeah.
And then that combined with the way the combat feels, combined with the art style, it's fucking great. Like I love the art style in that game.
Yeah.
I love like the whole like mask, like kind of designs and stuff.
Yeah, to save you the trouble of creating, or as far as graphic wise.
Yeah, exactly. And they have like and obviously you've seen that, like where they have there's something supernatural about the mask.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like they have them on, like it's what was it? It kind of reminds me of like the Death Eaters, like when they took off the mat and Harry Potter and they like passed out, like it's shit like that. Like it kind of has that same kind of thing. But yeah, I love that fucking game like a lot, and I'm excited that everybody's playing it because now I'm like, okay, if we can all get to a certain level, then we can go online and like fight other people because they have like a 3v3.
They got a 3v3.
Yeah,
I've done the 3v3 once or twice.
Okay.
I'm kind of getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
More than the 1v1.
Yeah.
I am getting my ass handed to me.
Yeah, there's some.
And it was really frustrating. But then I had to stop and look. It's like, bro, I've only been playing for 3-4 days.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and just get it down pat like right then and there.
And that game's been out for well over a year now.
Yeah, getting close. It's
Yeah,
getting close.
yeah.
By August or September, it'll be a year.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I'm sitting there trying to figure that out, and like I'm getting better. And it's like the problem was when you're with a school, you kind of rank up XP, but you in order to get more XP, you got to stick to that style.
Yeah.
In PvP.
Absolutely.
And it was very hard to figure out the drunken or stagger style.
Yeah.
As far as like the combos and trying to figure out okay, in this situation I go from there. And so you can make your own combat deck.
Yeah, which is fucking so good.
Where you can make your own combos.
Yeah.
And I finally I feel so much better fighting other people because I now can I can make my own combo.
Yeah.
And it makes more sense to me like if I was in an actual fight.
Yeah.
Because I got it set up a certain way. It's like, okay,
exactly.
like if I'm at this stance, what I'm gonna do in a fight is blah 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 blah, or
Yeah.
this combo here. If I'm like this in a fight, this is what I'm gonna do. And go blah, yeah.
And you can you thread them together where the transition points are exactly how you want them.
Yeah.
So you might like kick out of something, and then when you land that kick, your stance is completely different, and then that changes your deck basically.
Yeah. There is a super rare move that I found out.
Oh, nice.
Called the Cobot, some shit. Anyway, Cowbot.
Yeah.
And it's basically a slap to the face.
Oh, wow. Just like a quick.
Yeah, it's just like they stand like they're in a stance, but then they just stand straight up and then smack you in the face.
Jesus Christ.
So I found out that was a move.
Yeah.
From PvP.
Okay, that's disrespectful.
And I didn't know how to defend against it.
I mean, you don't.
So this motherfucker just spent like the whole round. He set up a fight, and I was in there getting ready to do a dodge, and then he sit there,
slap,
and then sit there. And I try punching again, and he's blocking my moves.
Yeah.
And he found an opening, slap, and I was in there. I was getting pissed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I was like ready to look up this person's personal information and find them and see if they can pull that shit off in real life.
Right, yeah, I have to give you these hands for real.
And
that's so funny.
It's so disrespectful. And you can get a trophy for it.
Oh, for slap. See, it reminds me of one. It reminds me of Charlie Murphy's thing. He said, "You can just slap a man." He said, "Somebody had to go after that."
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And then it reminds me also of like when when Splinter would be training the turtles and he would just hit him on the top of the head.
Oh, okay.
Like when Yoda would do it. Like if they would try to attack, he would just like bonk. Like that's what. Like it's such a like master level move of just like nope. And you're like, what am I supposed to do with that?
I felt like
it's so bad, man.
I felt like that dude working security that got smacked by Nipsey Hussle at the BET Awards.
Yeah.
Man. It was pissed me off so bad too, especially when I was on a losing streak. And then this next opponent I got, he said just keeps going.
It's like, what are you doing? It's like asshole right here.
And I was like, okay, I need to learn how to get good. I got to get good. I have to. It's like, and that's what kind of why I was obsessed too. I was like, no, I refuse to sit there and get my ass whooped from time on time. Every time I log in, I refuse.
From just a slap.
So I sit there and found tutorials. I found little guides to find where moves are, looking at maps.
Oh, I've been watching all of them that you've been sending. I've been making sure to keep up with them. I've been watching every single one of them. Had to.
How to parry and dodge and stuff, and like learning this, that, and the other. It's like, no, I should have came up. I should have had a hit list like fucking in Kill Bill.
Mark them down, yeah.
And just sit there and just cross them out.
Yeah. Have you done anything like extensively with the melee weapons, like the swords and stuff?
I'm still learning those. Yeah. I don't care for as much.
Me neither.
I mean, but it's necessary when you come across somebody like for PvP or somebody like in the open world that's going to challenge you. Yeah. And I was whooping on them. Yeah. And then he pulls a sword out, and I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, just like in real life.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
Somebody get their ass whooped, then all of a sudden, or just it's exactly like in the movies too.
Absolutely.
It's like somebody's getting their ass whooped, and then all of a sudden the guy
Yeah.
Like with a switchblade.
You're like, all right, that's
All right,
cool.
it's 1992.
Yeah.
Apparently. All right.
then you gotta disarm them and then take it, because it's one of those things where you can't disarm. I wish you could disarm them like farther. Like the disarm is usually in a close proximity. I wish it would like knock it into it. Like if you disarmed them perfectly, I wish it would like knock it into a wall. So like we're not dealing with that anymore.
Right.
It's me and you now.
Well,
because I feel compelled to pick it up just to stop them from picking it up.
Yeah, I did get a trophy for it.
Yeah.
I was in a PvP fight, and I was whooping on somebody. This on one of the very few times that it was happening. I'm actually winning. I'm actually beating him. And then he's on his last life, and then he pulls a sword out, and I was like, son of a bitch. And so I just happened to get my combo together to where I was able to knock the sword out.
Yep.
I picked it up and sit there and did a couple of little slashes and killed him for that round. And then I sit there and a trophy popped up, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Nice.
Yeah.
That game is. I wish it was bigger than it was. I wish it was bigger. Like I wish more people knew about it. Like it's perfect. Like the way it's kind of focused, but it's one of those games where I've always wanted a game like that. But like take that and then marry it with something like, which I mean, I guess Warframe kind of is, but like. Or like Destiny or Warframe, where it's like the scale is bigger, but you're focusing on very like complex like fighting styles instead of like a better gun or a better sword or whatever, a better shield, better armor. Yeah, that's part of it, but the real focus is like actually learning like legitimate combat moves and having the combat be dynamic, where it shifts in out, where there's like literally. Most of the time, you will never come across anybody that will have even close to the same combo strain as you, because everybody can take that deck and completely customize it. Yeah. Especially when you get like in the upper like levels where you've learned a substantial amount, you can go fucking crazy.
Yeah,
like I'll go Wing Chun into drunken, then into like a spinning back kick, and then my stance is completely fucking like. It's so cool to be able to like dynamically shift between that. And then basically showing your hand, and then somebody else, like pun intended, showing their hand of their deck, and then you're like, oh shit, like, well, he's got this parry in the middle when I would be doing my kick, and then I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? So I got like switch stance, and I like the fact that you can switch stance even when you're not like it, you don't have to combo into it. The fact that you can combo into it is a bonus. But if you need to,
that
you
blocking
switch.
too.
Yeah, right.
So
exactly.
luckily, it was like, that came clutch as far as needing to switch positions while you were blocking at the same time. So.
Yeah. And cosmetically, I like I always like starting like with the back stance, like where my back is kind of to him.
Yeah.
I always like that because it's kind of disrespectful in a way.
No, it looks coy.
It does.
It looks a little like
because he's like
come and get it.
Yeah, I know. He's like, he's like, hey. And then he just like then all of a sudden you just go into it, and then I love that as a starting point. I always like that. But that game is excellent, and I hope they continue to support it and continue to add more fighting style. Right?
It's like,
yeah.
This is taking a turn.
It's right. Yeah. Like I would love more like starting things. Like I think about like
that just reminded me.
Like,
I gotta send you a video of this this guy. He makes shit posts with strictly Absolver footage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And he made something similar to that dialogue I just said again.
It's awesome.
It is. It's hilarious. I'll have to share it to you or share it on the group chat.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that. But yeah, I wish they would have like more starting stuff, like more like where the stances were even more pronounced. Like I think about remember the table battle in Ipmon?
Okay.
When they like start like when you had that like really dramatic like where they took the pose like that, and then I would like more like different dynamic. Like obviously they have to like fine tune the movement system with the fighting styling more, but even like stuff like that, like where it's like certain battles where like a level is very specific, where like not only do you have to worry about fighting, but you have to worry about like this platform like either moves or something, or moves with the weight shifts or other stuff like that. Yeah. But other than that, I love that fucking game.
And they got an update coming up in either the next month or two, where it's going to be they're going to add a new fighting style. Yeah. Which is very similar to Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do.
It's gonna be great.
Hopefully they open up another slot, because I'm going to be figuring that shit out too.
Yeah, exactly. And I want something more, because a lot of them are very, like you said, they're more like a lot of them are very like focused and plotting realistically. So like where you're watching for the other person's moves. I wouldn't mind to have something a little bit more like springy and like a little bit more quick.
Yeah. Well, there are some quick moves. Well, granted, there's some moves where there's some people I fight. Their move set is really spammy almost.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like quick jab, quick jab, quick jab, quick jab, and then and then uppercut. And it was like uppercut on him, and then like quick jab, quick jab. It's like, okay, you're a bitch right now.
You're right. Yeah. Because I love the like the Ong Bak like Muay Thai like style, because it's really like the really heavy, like that fucking knee elbow. That shit, like every time it hits and connects, like usually it staggers like automatically.
I found out using the drunken style how to counter it, and I felt like a fucking badass at that point, because he sit there and came up and was like, as soon as he did that, I sit there and backed up, like just real smooth, and it just kind of a little kick on the way out.
Oh, that's great.
I was just like pop, and then he kept doing it, and then I was just pop, and I was like, I got to figure it out. It was like, I got you figured out.
That's great.
And that's and also that feeling too, like when somebody well, they either spam or they keep doing the same moves over and over, and I was like, okay, I'm about to exploit you as soon as you as soon as you least suspect it. Yeah. So it's.
I would like, hopefully down the road we'll see what they do, but I like the fact that they're adding new fighting styles. I would like more dynamic weapons, like if we're gonna add them, like give me like a bow staff, give me I always forget the name of it, but the really long staff with the crazy blade on the end that usually like it's like really flimsy.
I
can't think of the name of that.
I can't think of it now.
Like they're adding, which is gonna be cool. Which if you get a chance, For Honor's amazing again. By the way, well, it's amazing because it kind of it stumbled out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
It always had that potential. Like the fighting system has been incredible since the jump, but like their whole networking system was kind of shit, and they had to like rebalance a lot of stuff. But now it's like fucking really good, and they're adding in this whole nother region, which is very martial arts, and like the main old guy character like has that fucking staff, and he's like really like crazy, like his finesse with it is nuts. So I would like to see, if they're going to add more weapons, I would like to see stuff like that, a little bit more like dynamic stuff, like if you have like two people who are having like weapons with a lot of reach, that'd be interesting. Like, because the sword's cool, but like you said, most of the time when it pops up, my thought process is, okay, I need to disarm you and get that thing the fuck out of here.
Okay, when you say this flimsy ones, are you talking about these right here?
Exactly.
Okay, what were the names of them?
Like I always think about that martial arts video, that girl doing the splits, and that girl's trying to poke her in the face.
Yeah,
and
she
like
keeps dodging it.
Yeah,
and that's what somebody made a meme using Absolver. It's like what it feels like to play as Windfall.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, it's I love that game. That game is really good. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out Absolver, because even when it comes, it's free on PlayStation Plus right now. If you're listening to this in the month of July still, but also when it comes back to full price, it's only $20. Like the game.
When it goes back to
the game's only $20. I mean, it's still like for what you get, it's excellent, and these guys have made a really good game. And speaking of which, I saw a lot of really good cosplay at Comic-Con. There's a few people that did Absolver stuff.
The San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. Yeah, which was cool to see like randomly, because like I haven't seen it that much.
Yeah,
but there was a few people that had like some really good like outfits. But yeah, so do you want to do?
Well, let's go ahead into the
Comic-Con, and then we'll do the music stuff last. Okay. But the Comic-Con stuff is so extensive. But yeah, it was like we were saying before. Like I was saying before we started recording. Comic-Con, I usually like keep my eye on it, but I usually wait until everything rolls out, and then I just kind of like list off like, okay, let me check.
Yeah.
And this one, it was interesting because I was getting a lot of the stuff as it was happening, just because by way of Twitter and going through the feed, like somebody posting up something like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then I was taking it in and kind of like getting a few, like more than I thought I would, moments of like holy, like genuine excitement, like holy shit, like I'm super excited about this. And the first one I could think of was the Clone Wars thing, like the fact of Clone Wars coming back, like that whole trailer. I was super excited about that because that kind of ended very abruptly. I mean, not really, I guess. I mean, it was on for a while, but it just like stopped. Like you can tell they just were like, well, we're stopping it. And then it just ended, and it was like, it left it open. And a lot of people were like, oh, shit. So seeing that come back, like, I was, like, really excited. Like, I was watching that on my phone at work, and I was like, fucking yes. Like,
But it wasn't the Gendy Tartakovsky Clone Wars that I was looking forward to.
Oh, the one, yeah.
So,
That was.
So I mean, it's dope that it came back, but it
Yeah.
was just kind of like, oh, that one.
Yeah,
for me.
No, absolutely. That one, I love that one. But it was funny because I remember when I first initially started watching this one, I felt the same way, but then I, over time, like, really got into this one and really liked where it went and how it kind of like its characters and stuff. And Ahsoka's great. But yeah, I was really excited about that and kind of like went from there. And then, of course, the other ones that trailers that came out and news that came out, got to see that first Shazam trailer, which, like I said, that kind of led me down a rabbit hole of research and realized that I don't really know that much about fucking Shazam at all.
Or formerly known as Captain Marvel.
Right, exactly. And that was I didn't realize, I had no clue about the whole, the kid aspect of it. That was, I completely, because every time I had seen Shazam, like, represented, like, either in images, drawing, whatever, like any comic.
Did you play Injustice?
Not really.
Not
extensively. Yeah.
Okay.
I always saw him as just the big swole, like Superman looking guy.
He was pretty much he was the wish fulfillment when Superman was out and about. And it's kind of like, hey, I want to be Superman too. It's like, well, now, kid, you got a chance.
Yeah, you're good.
Read my comic.
Right. Yeah. And that was what was so funny, like, about that. Because we've been hearing stuff about the casting and everything and about who's going to be in it and all that good stuff. And then when they chose the guy that's playing him, I was like, okay. I was like, that's good.
Zachary Levi.
Yeah, like he's good.
Zachary Levi.
Yeah, Zachary Levi. Yeah.
Yes, it's Levi, not Levy.
Yeah, I always wanted to do that too. I always wanted to do that same thing. But like seeing the trailer of
Chuck, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Chuck. Yeah. But like seeing that trailer and seeing it kind of play out, I'm like, that's really interesting as a take on a superhero, like a badass superhero.
Yeah.
But he's just a kid. Like, he's goofy as shit.
It's going exactly how you would expect a kid to act once they got superpowers. Absolutely. Like, well, to an extent, depending on the kid's personality or whatever.
Right, yeah.
And that would have been dope had that been the DC Extended Universe's first stab at comedy.
Right.
As opposed to the jokes that they were throwing out in Justice League.
Okay, I see what you're saying. But they kind of had to do that.
Kinda?
Because, I mean...
like, with Justice League, kinda.
I guess more to people's... is lament the best word to say? I mean, like, people were like, can it not be that dark? That was pretty much everybody's kind of general, like,
I can see.
Can we get a joke, please? Like, I'm depressed.
Yeah,
I mean, then that we're kind of trying to, like, circumvent that.
Yeah, at first, like, with Man of Steel and then Batman v Superman, it felt like they were just straight up allergic to humor.
Yeah, it was weird.
Whatsoever. And even, like, the shit that was supposed to be kind of funny, it just felt like they just kind of just slapped something on there to sit there and just slap a word. And then with Justice League, it kind of felt like it was like, okay, let's double down. Like, let's catch up. Let's play catch up on the comedy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, no, it's a little too much.
Yeah,
like,
right,
the best Justice League origin story that I've seen that takes less than an hour is the Justice League cartoon. The first 2 episodes when they had to deal with an alien invasion. Yeah. A lot less, kind of similar to the movie.
Yeah, I guess it.
It kind of was, but they handled it so much better, and as well as introducing the new characters, especially as everybody was already established. They were kind of doing their own thing, but stuff kind of brought them in together rather than just like a Bruce Wayne tour to recruit people. In a sense,
exactly. It needs to. The biggest thing is it needs to feel natural. And with Shazam, at least from the trailer so far, it feels natural.
Yeah. Or it feels like it feels like I get it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Absolutely. Like, even like some of the little joke stuff that they were doing, like just some of the simple stuff, like when he was like, your phone's charged, your phone's charged, your phone's charged, and the guy's phone blew up. He was like, what? He was like, kind of like, yeah, because he's a kid. Like, you understand, like, he like, and then when he got shot in the chest, and he was like, I'm bulletproof, and he was like freaking out. He got like super excited. And then, like, he was like, and then he was walking outside. That was my part that I laughed the hardest, was when he was walking outside. He was like, yeah. He said, awesome. And he was like, oh, hey, I'm a superhero. How's it going? And he's like talking to that girl.
Yeah.
Like simple stuff like that. It makes sense because he's a kid.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting to see because I didn't realize that was the dynamic. Just that quick, like him being able to change like that. That's awesome. Now here's my thing. Now is I'm trying to figure out like where.
Okay. Also another.
Go ahead.
A slight gripe.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
A slight gripe regarding Shazam.
Yeah.
His look looks a little too poofy, or a little too puffy.
Like it looks like he's wearing a muscle suit.
It almost looks like he's wearing a muscle suit.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And like I don't know if that kind of adds to the humor or what, but it's just like
it's exaggerated.
Yeah,
it's exaggerated.
Almost to like a it looks like an inflatable suit almost.
Yeah, he's
the way he kind
of he's comedically big a little bit. Like he looks a little too
and
big.
Like it bothered me, but at the same time, it's like okay, this is kind of a comedy. I think I'll be okay with rolling with this just for the fact of where they're going with it.
And see, that was my thing at first. Like, it's interesting to see when you finally see what you've seen in the comic books being represented, like the suits. I've been big about that. Like Black Lightning, we talked about his suit and stuff. But then like Shazam's, when I first saw those stills of them sitting out in front of the gas station, like him drinking out of that can, like standing next to the kid.
Yeah.
I was like, I fucking don't like the way his suit looks. But then seeing it in the trailer, it actually it works. It's one of those things where, like you said, almost like the kind of the big swollenness, it kind of works with the tone of the movie.
Yeah, and it almost seems like it's parroting
a superhero.
Like it almost seems like a parody of superhero films.
Right, exactly.
Which is interesting as hell for DC to go for this route,
especially
when they couldn't even get a good superhero movie going for a while.
Right,
so.
Especially the character that parodies, like they're pretty much in a sense like would be the one parodying their biggest superhero, which is like their Superman.
Yeah,
which caught the most criticism off the jump because it was the first one out the gate, really, and then it caught a bunch of criticism. So it's gonna be interesting to see if there's any like slight nod, kind of like inside joke type stuff in Shazam.
Like with Deadpool 1, it's like,
right.
Just don't give me a green super suit.
Yeah,
please don't let it be animated.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Absolutely. I'm interested to see, like, is Black Adam still in this movie? Is that just going to be like held too close to the chest until we see it? Because we've seen the bad guy. We know who the one bad guy is.
Right. It's possible,
but
he
still shows up. In the lit, like when you look up the lit, like of actors, Rock still shows up as Black Adam listed for this movie. But I'm
maybe a mid-credit scene, or
that's what I'm wondering if it's gonna be like. Yeah, we'll go from there. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this works, especially in the DC movie ethos that we've come to like recognize, and then also to see, because I want him to also like. He's obviously still gonna be a kid inside of Shazam, but I want to see how it grows. Because Shazam's he's got a history.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that character develops over the course of this movie and then what we can maybe expect going forward. Because this is very different for what we've seen from DC.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of kind of what we
Speaking of DC?
Expect, from DC.
Are we
in
talking?
A way.
Same time. 3, 2, 1.
Teen Titans.
Son of a bitch.
Damn it. I thought we were going to hit that one perfectly. Ah, man.
Son of a bitch.
All right, which one do you want to go through first then?
All right,
funny.
Let's get the negative out the way.
Okay.
You're talking about the live action Teen Titans show.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah,
I would much rather watch Teen Titans Go
dude, I was so
than...
Like, what the fuck, man? I was so... Because my thing was, my daughter loves Teen Titans.
Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go?
Both of them.
Okay.
She's watched all of them.
Right.
Because she immediately recognizes the characters. No matter what iteration it is, as soon as she sees Cyborg, and like as soon as she sees those characters, she's like, I'm watching this.
Yeah.
And she did it with both of them. So like, obviously she had Teen Titans Go, and then when I showed her like the regular, like Teen Titans, like regular, like proper, like she was like, oh, she was like, it's just the same characters. And then she just watched it just like it was. So when I saw that they were making a live action, I was like, okay. I was like, we've taken her to see, God, I'm trying to think, like all the Avengers movies, like all those, like all the MCU movies, pretty much. Like she's seen like Thor, like all those kind of movies she's seen, and she loves them. So I was like, okay, this will be cool. She can go like this will be a good one to go see because I was expecting it to be a fucking Teen Titans movie, not whatever the fuck it is. And then I saw it. I'm like, okay, we're just starting off with fuck Batman. All right, okay, all right. Cool.
Now, if this was Jason Todd, I don't know why he keeps coming up in these episodes.
Yeah, I know he does a lot. We've been
Jason
talking about it
Todd
a lot
comes up
lately.
way more than Dick Grayson or Tim Drake.
Oh yeah, we've been
Or
yeah.
even Batman's son, Damian Wayne.
Yeah,
he
no.
comes up. Jason Todd comes up every other fucking episode. It never fails.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, he probably is the most. He is the most as far as in kind of like entertainment culture now, and I feel like he is the most utilized between like the Arkham games and everything.
I'd argue Dick Grayson.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, wasn't Jason Todd Red Hood, right?
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's
Spoiler for like 10-year spoiler.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
10,
But yeah.
20 plus whatever.
Right, yeah. See, that's what I'm thinking. Right, yeah. Depending on what medium you're talking about. Because see, that's what I think about. I immediately, he's the first one that pops into my head personally. I know.
When you think of Robin.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. he
Okay.
is.
Thanks
that's
to the
just
animated
come-
series,
Right.
Dick Grayson sticks with me.
Okay.
Who later on becomes Nightwing.
Right.
Now, this whole gritty Dick Grayson going fuck Batman,
Yeah.
it doesn't flow
Yeah.
compared to the other Robins. Like if
He's
there's
the worst one to do that.
yes.
It makes the least sense for
Now
that.
he did have somewhat of a falling out due to some other shit that took place way after he became Nightwing.
Right.
But for him to still have the Robin mantle and saying going fuck Batman,
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
using guns, killing people
Yeah.
in the alley, we're missing some steps here.
Yeah, right. Like you do understand that you're just like I don't understand like the writers like I don't even know how to put it. Like I don't even know where their mindset could have been at because like this isn't like a fucking sequel or like this is just you doing a live action version of a thing that a lot of people love.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the way it's coming off is like we're supposed to have this previous knowledge of something of a storyline that doesn't really exist.
I mean, granted, they're probably going to explain it
but
like in the later
right,
episodes.
right?
so.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. I mean,
But still, I mean, like, hey, this isn't your kids' Teen Titans. This isn't that kiddie Teen Titans Go bullshit. Watch him say fuck Batman.
right? Yeah,
And it's like,
that's what it felt
why
like.
is he saying fuck Batman?
Right.
And it's just kind of like, okay, y'all took the dark from the movies
Yeah,
and took it way too damn far for this TV show.
yeah, exactly.
And the look, you don't really get a good look in the trailer, but you did see, like, they did show a photo of Robin in the suit. So
Yeah.
that looks cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Not what I was expecting if this is the route they were going to take.
Right.
And especially, like, I'm gonna be honest, that Dick Grayson looks a little too old to still be wearing the red and yellow. It would
Yeah.
make more sense if he transitioned it. Maybe he transitions into Nightwing in this show.
Yeah,
but-
he looks like he could easily.
But like how he
But-
looks age wise, it's
Yeah.
just kind of like, okay, you're not a teen anymore. Let's go ahead and get that mullet in so you can become Nightwing,
right.
like in the old school Nightwing.
But the thing is, they can't. We know. I mean, unless they just completely take liberties with the whole Teen Titans storyline thing. Anyway.
Looks like they kind of have.
I mean, yeah, that's
'cause,
true. But like, are we just gonna end up like we have Robin halfway through the season, and all of a sudden he just becomes Nightwing from there on out? Like,
I'd hope.
I mean,
because
it's
it's
so-
kind of what happened. Yeah, that kind of happened with the when he formed it, where it was with the Titans and stuff. Well,
Yeah.
depending on whichever iteration you're looking at.
that's what I'm trying. Yeah,
Young Justice will. I'll mention that
Yeah.
in passing at the end of this.
yeah,
Okay, so the look of Robin, it looks true to comic book, but at the same time, it like with the actor that they're using, it doesn't make sense as far as the age that he looks.
yeah,
It looks like he needs to be transitioning into Nightwing, like being like he looks like a grown ass man.
yeah. He does. He looks old.
Okay, now Starfire,
Right,
her powers
right.
look like fire,
Yeah, they do.
and that's not her powers.
no, it's not. No.
It's like, oh, her name's Starfire. Okay, cool. We know what she
Fire.
does.
He
Yeah.
said no.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. No, we've already filmed it. And it's like, Hold on.
I just told you the name.
And then like the hair, like the choice of her hair. I don't know. Maybe she was supposed to be undercover or some shit like that on the photo that they used on the still that they were using.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, you got to see her, didn't you? She used it.
she used her
It was
powers.
like a slow mo. It was like a kind of like slowed down Jack Snyder ass shot.
It was fire. And it was
Yeah,
like,
it was
that's
clearly-
not what her powers. She
Yeah.
shoots out green shit. What are
Yeah.
you doing? What is that?
Right, exactly.
And
Then you saw your boy.
Beast Boy.
He was jumping off the roof or some shit.
Yeah, I was hoping they were going to show him change, but that would probably be. It was like, hold on, we ain't have the budget for the trailer yet.
Yeah,
so
right,
this is like,
exactly.
it's still in post.
You know, it reminded me of like when he was jumping. It kind of gave me like a Nightcrawler vibe at first, like when I first like saw him.
I can see that.
Yeah, but then I was like, wait, it's wrong. Goddamn universe. And then of course, the one we saw the most besides Robin
was Raven.
was Raven. Yeah,
And she looks like the youngest out of all of them.
yeah, she does.
And she looks kind of like shit, what is that movie? I don't know. It's like they saw, hey, what if Laura Kinney was in the occult?
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, I'm sorry, for people that don't know Laura Kinney, X-23.
Yeah.
Or Little, the daughter from Logan.
Yeah, exactly.
If y'all aren't familiar with that name.
Yeah.
It's just kind of it was just kind of going like, okay, let's have her traumatized and young and
Yeah.
looking around for people and just kind of
Right, yeah.
and it's like not fully knowing her powers and being scared of her powers and stuff like that. And it was kind of
Right, yeah. Where are we at in the time?
timeline
Where are we
wise.
at the timeline? Like, because it doesn't. Yeah, because
Because her shit's is like, well, it's not. She doesn't have full control of it, but she has a good understanding of her powers.
Right.
When she meets Robin or in the other Titans.
Absolutely, yeah.
On any other platform.
Yeah.
That or medium that they've shown the Titans form together.
Yeah,
or
right.
involving Raven. Excuse me.
yeah.
I
Right. What do you? Then of course we didn't see.
now there were two characters that you kind of blink and you miss them.
Okay.
Hawk and Dove.
Okay.
These they're two lesser known characters as far as people that are familiar with DC. But
Right.
if you watched Justice League Unlimited, you'll have noticed.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have seen them.
Yeah, I know exactly. What you're doing.
Excuse me. And it looked like they were killing people too.
Yeah, I don't know what
So
the fuck is going on. With this. Yeah, I don't like. The thing is, if you go off the source material, it could. I mean, it's so good, it writes itself. If you just like, hey, take it into live action, we can get some actors that can properly represent like these characters in the right way, have their tones set perfectly. Like you have you have the fucking template for how these characters are supposed to be. Like I think I can hear their voices.
Yeah.
And I can hear their jokes.
Yeah.
Like especially like Raven and like and Beast Boy, like their kind of jokes back and forth and like cyber, like I can hear their shit. Like like it's so funny. But then like you see this and you're like, this is not.
Yeah. So this will be the what's the streaming service or what's the service called? DC Universe.
Yeah. It's like their
Okay. So
thing.
this will be their first swing and a miss. I feel like.
Yeah, most likely.
But other than that, as far as other DC stuff,
Right.
it's been going pretty well. Trailers for new shows or like the shows on CW,
Right.
Arrow, Black Lightning.
Yep.
They didn't really have a trailer. They just had a recap of season 1. If you missed it,
Right. Yeah.
not sure why they bothered doing that for the Comic Con, but all right.
I don't know.
Arrow, Black Lightning. I'm trying to go in alphabetical order. Flash,
Yep. Yeah.
Legends of Tomorrow. They ended up getting another season.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised.
I'm kind of surprised. Like,
Yeah.
I'm willing to watch it if I don't have anything else going on.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, yeah, it's like they're having more fun compared to everybody else. But it's
Yeah.
because like with what they got to work with, it just feels like it's a huge dip
Yeah.
quality wise,
Right.
compared to the other shows.
Yeah.
But they at least got some chemistry. Well, most of them, and they at least look like they're having fun when doing this.
Right. And the Constantine draw is the biggest thing for me.
Oh, so he's actually he's actually in the cast, or is he just occasional?
He's like occurring occasional. I don't think he got bumped up to series regular.
So he's like BD Wong's character in SVU.
Exactly. That's a perfect. Yeah, that's perfect because he's more than like very like occasional, like rare, but he's not series regular.
Uh-huh.
But like basically, if as many times as they can, like any supernatural shit pops up, he's gonna pop up.
Okay, fair
Or
enough.
if they feel they really need some help, he's gonna pop up. Yeah.
So the CW shows Young Justice got a new season coming out. They also did a season 1 recap,
Right.
But they also kind of transitioned a little bit into what to expect for the. I said season 1, the last season,
Right.
They did a recap, and then at the very end, they did a kind of what to expect for the upcoming season,
Like going forward.
So that should also be on the new streaming service,
Yeah.
DC Universe as well. And let's see, Shazam, Titans, CW, Young Justice.
Which I was kind of surprised we didn't see, because the whole thing, of course, which that might be a D23. I forget Disney owns everything. Because the whole thing is, of course, the rumor has been that Disney/Marvel is going to have their own streaming service, and then all the shit's going to get taken off Netflix.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a pain in the ass, because I don't want to pay for fucking
2
Netflix,
additional
DC,
services.
and Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that makes me... I kind of was actually surprised at first that it wasn't talked about, but now I'm thinking about it, they'll probably save that for like D23 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so the last little bit of DC news. Have you seen the trailer for Aquaman?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm liking where this is going.
Yeah. me
Especially when they got they're showing other characters like Ocean Master, which is Aquaman's brother.
Yeah.
Black Manta.
too. Yeah. Yeah.
I was not expecting that flying salsa head ass dude to be in a movie.
Yeah, me neither.
But here he was. Like,
Yeah.
obviously they had to tone down the size
So he
of
would
his
be-
helmet
Right.
just so it could actually, so the person operating it can actually function.
Right, exactly.
It still looks big. It still looks huge.
Yeah.
But it at least looks like, okay, I can move around without losing my balance instead of just
tip
tilting over. Yeah.
Just like sticks in the ground. Can you help me up, please?
And the fact that they got old buddy from the Get Down,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
they got him in there. What is it? I'm mad I can't remember his name now.
Can't think of his name either.
So, and it looks like they got a lot of action going on, and
what's
apparently
going on.
there's some. It's like an underwater Wakanda, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And they kind of, and it's, I guess there's that kind of outside versus like the home place kind of like thing, at least from what I read.
Yeah,
of, like,
it's
a
reversed.
synopsis.
Yeah, where Aquaman is technically Killmonger.
Right, exactly.
So yeah,
And it's kind of like he's basically trying to kind of stop / like deter this like massive clash
Invasion.
between
the
exactly
humans and Atlanteans.
yeah, absolutely
and sea monsters fighting each other.
yeah.
Interesting as well.
I mean, yeah, exactly. You get to start. That was the big thing too. Like trying to see or trying to hoping that they can continue, and even more so in this, like represent on film exactly what he's capable of.
Yeah, and I think in the trailer, the kid that's supposed to be him, I think that's his actual son.
Oh, really?
I think I have to rewatch it.
That's great.
But I mean, it makes sense because there was a meme comparison where they showed his son in little tattoos and stuff, or it looked like Aquaman tattoos,
Yeah.
and then Momoa was behind him in Aquaman tattoos,
Yeah.
and they were both posing. And then somebody did a side by side between those two, and then Machamp and Machamp
Yeah.
from Pokemon.
Oh, nice. That's great.
And it was like a real life evolution or some shit like that.
That's
And
really
it's
good.
So it wouldn't make sense for them. Well, I mean, he could have just been doing that just for the fuck of it.
Right,
He was like,
yeah.
he's like, yeah, I'm about to get some tattoos. Here, get over here, boy.
yeah, right. Yeah,
Let's-
exactly.
But that makes more sense. Like, yeah, so they used his son for the movie, or that is his son, right? Let me make sure. I'm not just talking out the ass. I dropped my phone. We'll leave that alone. We will leave that alone and move along.
right. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about James Gunn? I mean, kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
let's just breeze through it.
Might-
I mean,
might as well.
we kind of have to anyway.
Because the only other thing I can think of after that I really like watched and really was excited about was Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's sprinkle in the bad shit.
Yeah, right.
So we had to do that for Titans.
Right.
We talked some good shit about DC, and
Yeah.
now we've got some bad news. Sit there and sprinkle in here regarding Marvel.
Yeah.
So Disney has fired James Gunn,
Mm-hmm.
who wrote and directed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2.
Right. Absolutely.
And he's been fired from filming or taking care of Volume 3.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was over some offensive tweets that he wrote back in 2008, 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Something told me from 2009 to 2012, according to the New York Times.
Okay.
And what took place was that he had basically what's made this spiral was that he had some comments about President Trump.
Right.
And two right-wingers had pretty much started looking at old tweets of his.
Yeah.
And he was basically making jokes about, being a NAMBLA support or being a NAMBLA member.
Oh, yeah.
NAMBLA, I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched South Park. It was like North American Man
Boy Love
NAMBLA. Yeah, Man Boy Love Association.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a South Park skit, but no. That's shit.
Yeah, right, yeah, no, that was my thing too, yeah.
There's an audience for everything.
Right.
So, he made jokes similar to that type of shit.
Right, exactly.
And, obviously Disney don't want to be associated for that type of shit, especially with, for lack of better words, the Me Too movement. Right. The cancel culture, as other people have called it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The gotcha culture, as other people call it.
Yep.
The you have no you should be held accountable for shit that you used to do almost a whole decade ago. Right. Type of culture. Mm-hmm. He's been fired. Yeah. Now I've kind of already that description kind of already shows my bias or opinion on the situation.
Right. Absolutely.
So just to kind of quick little gloss over it. That's fucked up.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
I mean, granted, I get it.
Yeah.
As far as Disney making that decision, because the optics on that was terrible.
Absolutely.
It's terrible.
Yeah. What he said was bad. Absolutely.
Yeah. As far as, and he's straight up apologized for those tweets and has sit there and shown, it's like, okay, that was pretty fucking stupid of me back then.
Right.
And it's like, even if I was making a joke, that ain't the type of joke you sit there and get. That's not a joke for everybody.
Right.
That's not a joke I should have been putting out on a platform for everybody.
Right.
Along those lines. And it's not indicative of his actual personality unless somebody pulls something up or more dirt on him about shit they used to do in the past, which so far at the time of this recording, I don't know why I looked at my watch when I said that.
As far as
as far as the time of this recording, nothing has been pulled up as far as any kind of crazy skeletons in his closet, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
the best thing that I saw probably after this was what Batista said.
I caught the headline where it's saying he was not okay with it, and he gives no fucks as far as giving his opinion about stuff.
No,
he wants to go back to WWE so bad, and he wants to sit there and help out the younger talents and shit like that.
Yeah,
it's just his personality is like, if he don't fuck with it, he's not gonna fuck with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's willing to give his opinion about something, and it's just so he's very passionate about whatever it is that he is into, whether it be wrestling and with acting. And in this case, I'm sure this is kind of parallel to what you are saying his comments were.
Yeah, he basically said, like, James Gunn is one of the nicest people he's ever met. He's one of the best people he's ever worked with. He's one of the kindest, basically. Like, just from the experience of being around him extensively, working on these two movies, he just talked about how good of a person he is, and just saying that he's not okay. Basically, he doesn't agree with the fact of him being persecuted this hard for something he did, like we said, a decade ago.
Yeah. Not even did, more or less said.
Well, said, yeah, we'll say said. And
or tweeted.
Right, yeah, tweeted, yeah. And then the other side of it, I don't like the fact in any case really of somebody with, of course, clearly like nefarious, very vindictive intent, like basically being able to weaponize
your maturity, your
or your
path to personal growth. I don't know how to
mistakes. Any of those kind of things.
I was looking for some big eloquent way to sit there and put it, but it's like,
it sucks. That absolutely sucks. And the other thing, of course, thinking about it, I guess, in part of the way, obviously somebody's lost their job, which is fucking terrible. And then, of course, thinking about it in the selfish way that most of us do as fans of this medium is like, what does this mean for
Guardians
Guardians 3, and like, what are we gonna see?
Now, I just now thought of something.
Yeah.
While we were talking about this, it's fucked up that he did this, or it's fucked up that it happened to him over something that he did a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then people are sitting there going like, so when people are saying some stuff racially, and you sit there and get them fired, it's like, no, okay, I see the argument that you're trying to make.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not the same thing.
Right.
Like with shit. Perfect example. Hulk Hogan got reinstated to the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and a lot of people were upset.
A lot of people were upset about that, and then people were like, "Oh, you guys need to let it go." He was saying some stuff in the privacy of his home. He wasn't. I mean, just cause like you've never said anything racist. It's like no,
right? It's like what? Like,
I've never sitting there and just like in the back of my. I've never sitting there in the comfort of my own home, sit there and called Asians like the other word for a crack in somebody's armor.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've never sit there and called Hispanics like the thing you eat with rice.
Right. Yeah.
Or what happens when you get out of the shower and you only dry the front.
Right. Exactly.
I've never sit there and said any of that about any of these people.
Exactly.
And so another person tried to defend him and sitting there going like, oh, it's not like, I mean, well, he's grown from there. It's not like he said he was racist. And it was like, did you not read the transcript?
Right. Yeah.
And I quote, I am a racist.
Right.
And then proceeds to say, I don't want her dating niggers. Or damn it, I didn't want to. I wasn't trying to get back to saying that word because I said it way too much last episode. Let that be the end of it.
That's the one.
Every podcast gets one.
Everybody, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no,
how did I sit there and bypass every other racial slur?
You was dodging them.
I bypassed every other one and went right smack into the hard R.
That was great. Yeah.
What? And it's
you was Jumpmaning up the thing like trying to save the princess, and then he just hit you with the barrel. Like,
oh jeez, I was like, Ice Age. The first one was Sid was going down a hill. He was like slalom.
Yeah.
I was doing that.
Yeah.
I was right in between those piers. I was sitting there going, I ain't gonna. Is it a PC web on here? And then
tree, just tree, just whole tree. Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm disappointed in myself. And this is recorded fact of me being racist towards black people. So
no, it's
like he hates his own kind. Look at him.
Right.
Just dropping the hard R.
Oh man.
Like a pirate.
That's good. But yeah, I mean it's God, we're in such a fucking crazy point in time and place where all this stuff kind of keeps coming out and happening. And speaking of which, it was during what was that? Yesterday, I went out to the mall and was getting something to eat from the Japanese place out there. I forgot the name of it.
By the mall?
Yeah.
Wait, in the mall?
Yeah, Sakura. Is that what it's called?
There's two of them.
So
well, technically three.
The one that's like right beside the Chick-fil-A.
Oh, the Japanese spot.
Yes, Sakura. Sabaro.
Sabaro is the pizza spot.
Oh. Sabaro's the pizza place. It's right next to it. I think it's Sakura or something like that.
All this time, I've yet to eat at that spot.
It's good. It's really good. But like, guy didn't get his food. Got mad. It was getting mad at the dude, and like the one of the cooks. He's Japanese, and he has a very thick accent. So white guy, that was his first offense he went to. Well, I can't understand you. Why don't you speak actually English? And I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, oh my God. And the thing was, it was one of those things where I was standing like right close to him, and I was just on my phone because I was trying not to get mad because I wanted to fucking knock this motherfucker out. Like I was so pissed because I knew if he was willing to say that so easily, he would.
He's willing to let any other word, any of those. Easily. He would have smacked right into those obstacle courses.
He probably said the N-word 3 times before he got to the mall that day, and I was just like, dude, I want to lay you out right now. Like it's so, like because it was such a dick move.
I don't
now at the same time, here's the thing: the guy had it wrong. He was kind of trying to blame the guy for not getting his food because these other 2 girls like picked it up and left. So it was kind of like the cook should have been like a little bit nicer about it, honestly, in a customer service type thing. But he didn't have to go straight like racist with it immediately. Like that was knee jerk throwing. Like
that's like your. There's certain complaint cards you throw out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right.
And white people have that extra racist one.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that you can throw out. And the first one is, "Hey, there's been a mistake.
Yeah.
Can we do something about this?
Yeah.
Let me speak to the manager.
Right.
fuck you, what insert whatever racial slur there is.
Exactly.
This motherfucker skipped all them other cards and sit there and just toss that one in there.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and then it was just one of those
I don't
things.
think I'd have kept my peace about that had I been in that situation.
It was really hard to, but it was just the interesting thing was in this day and age, like normally I would just want to say something, but I immediately wanted to hit him. Like it was just escalated that quick because I know from that tells me who you are.
Right.
And I know what you're capable of.
And it's bad enough.
That
like,
was your Aquaman trailer. I know what you're capable of.
It's bad enough that you're being shitty towards food service people.
Yeah, regardless.
That is an indicate. Like anytime I went on dates.
Yeah.
As soon even not even dating the person, just being around a certain person.
Yeah.
If it was a chick that I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I see how she treats the food service people. That is a big indicator as to how whether you want to fuck with or be around this person or not.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And just anytime, like just anybody that's a great indication of who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And so for you to sit there and just immediately get that way, and then immediately start getting this like, oh, speak English.
Yeah.
Like
really good.
Hold on, motherfucker.
What was that really good saying? There was a really good. I can't always forget it, but what was that saying where it's like, I feel like it was Ali or somebody like that said like, it was like as soon as I see somebody like treating, like if I see somebody treating basically like somebody else like negatively, like then that tells me about who they are because I know if I was in that same place, they would treat me the same way. It's something along those lines. I can't remember the exact words.
I can probably find it if I hit. Let's see, Ali quote treat. No,
but it was something along those. But yeah, that was interesting. It's just it's gotten to the point, and I had a really good conversation too. And I know we don't normally talk about a lot of politics, but I had a really good. There was a vigil for democracy in downtown Lexington this week. The one thing that we covered, and it was just a lot of people that were pissed off after what Trump said in Russia, basically. And I remember having a conversation, not even about that, but it was just about in general. I remember like this race in particular, the past like presidential race, was the first time in a while that I got like really interested in politics because it was just the whole thing, the whole circus of it was interesting, pretty phenomenal to watch, especially the way it unfolded and how everybody was fucking surprised. And I remember like being like, yeah, that got me like really interested, like genuinely interested in the way politics operate across the board. Not just talking about president, I'm talking about every single bit of it. It became very interesting. Mm-hmm. And it still is, but the thing is, over the past couple of years, these first couple of years of this administration, now I'm at a point where just from a combination of what's been happening in the administration and then what's been happening socially in this country, I'm fucking exhausted. Like, I don't want to talk about politics ever again. It's so, like, it's just every time, like, and the thing that's annoying is there's a lot of people that I support and view and watch a lot of their stuff on a weekly basis in the gaming industry or in comics or in nerd culture, etc. that every time I turn on Twitter, like it's a TV, every time I log into Twitter and like open it up, I see them bitching about something political, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to see this every time. It's fucking exhausting.
Yeah, and especially like it's fueling the fire.
Yeah,
and just not in the sense of if you ignore it, it'll go away type of deal. It's
right.
just more of a no. Y'all are giving these motherfuckers a platform by you quote tweeting them with a smart ass remark.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you're going to get a couple thousand retweets, but you just exposed those couple thousand people to this piece of shit that you're retweeting, sit there and come up with your pithy remark.
Exactly. And the other thing is, like, the other thing that really pisses me off most of all is that there's no reason why people who have these different views, especially on both sides of the aisle, like there's been so many times I've had good conversations with somebody who believed totally different than me. Mm-hmm. And it's there.
Yeah.
All people aren't fucking idiots just screaming at each other. Like, that's not the way it's supposed to be. Like, if people would just fucking talk.
Right.
Even if you're on, I don't give a shit if you do support Trump.
Yeah.
If you can have an intelligent conversation with somebody who doesn't, or me or whatever, that's good for everybody.
You're not an intelligent person.
No, sometimes I'm not. Trust me. But that's the thing. Like, I mean, that's the biggest. I won't even say the thing that pisses me off. That's the thing that's most frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you see the constant just screaming and just ignorance, and you know that's not all that's there, but that's the thing that is constantly visible.
Right.
And you're just like, that's not it, but it looks like it. And a lot of people take that as it's it.
And it's funny, like how, hell, we were just talking about cancel culture a second ago.
Oh, yeah.
And just like where the minute you find someone has a different opinion from you, it's like this, what was it called? I guess it's called tribalism. It's like the minute you find somebody has a different opinion about you on something, even something as minute as fucking DC versus Marvel.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Something like that. The minute you find somebody has a different opinion on that, it's weird to just kind of cut off the entire relationship with the person.
Yeah.
Just because they oppose on just one thing that you have.
Yeah, absolutely.
As opposed to like maybe other things that y'all got in common. And as far as if you're able to at least communicate your differing opinion with somebody.
Right.
And y'all can at least, if not reach an agreement, at least reach on some common or like some middle ground on some shit. Like it would help.
Yeah.
But as far as it's weird, as far as like that tribalism is like where one automatically has to be left, one person automatically has to be just all right.
Yeah, right.
I gotta be careful.
Yeah,
I almost said
don't go all the way.
No, maybe even that other direction of right.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like was it northeast, southeast, whatever the fuck that direction is.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's that. I mean, it's just weird how it's just like you kind of feel like no, you have to be all one way or you have to be all the other way,
right.
And it's just like that's not how human nature is.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like I wish people would be responsible and understand and really understand how social media in general works.
Yeah,
especially when you talk about like Facebook. Facebook's going to show you stuff within your bubble. That's what it's made to do. When you like stuff, when you constantly repost stuff, it learns that and then it constantly shows you. So that way you are never exposed to anything else. So as soon as you do, it's the equivalent of a dog seeing somebody that they don't know walk into their house. They're like, who is that? Like they start freaking the fuck out. But it's because the exposure is cut off.
Yeah.
Just based on not even them trying to cut stuff off. It's just literally, oh, I like that comment. I like that post. I like this from this article. I like this from this. And most of the time it's just random shit that they don't even fucking vet before they repost it. And then they're like, then Facebook's like, oh, you want to see that? Well, fucking, here's a fucking, we're dumping the whole thing on you of just more and more of the same content. And then they never see anything but that. And then as soon as something outside of that infiltrates that bubble, it's like the same thing as the way germs work with like your white blood cells. It's like defensive, like, oh God, we got to block it off. We got to block it off. And then it just becomes this thing where if it was to infect, you feel like if it's something that was to infect, it's going to kill you. But it's not the way it works.
Yeah.
You understand it, then you get it. That's the way literally biological. That's the way humans work. And I wish people would just understand that. But I mean, people just log into their shit, see what they want to see, and then they bounce the fuck out. But yeah. Anyways, we got way too political.
Dope. Something dope. I was not expecting. Have you seen the trailer to this movie called Overlord?
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Yes, it did.
Like, what the fuck is...
I was sitting there looking at it, and I was sitting there going like, I can't remember the thumbnail that I saw. It just showed this woman with a machine gun.
Yeah.
And I was like, Overlord trailer.
Yeah.
All right, fuck it. I
mean,
clicked on it.
It's very generic.
Yeah, I watched it, and I was sitting there going like, oh, it's another World War II movie.
Yeah.
Seen enough of those.
Right.
And then shit went down to where it's like everyone started getting split up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, that's more violence than I thought there would be as far as, or for a trailer for starters.
Yeah.
Two, I've never seen an action sequence go like that.
Yeah, it was heavy.
So that would be dope as hell to see on its own.
Yeah.
But it's still a World War II movie. I've no interest in it. I'll just like probably, I don't know, wait till it's on FX or some shit.
Right.
And then it took a turn.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
This is not a normal ass World War II movie.
No, not at all.
Shit. That threw me way off.
Yeah.
So apparently it's kind of like a sci-fi horror type deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean,
if you haven't seen it,
if it's one of those, it might be one of those things like where Wooly always like freaks out and talks about like the trailer showing too much.
Yeah. Honestly,
I mean,
I didn't feel like it showed too much.
But imagine if you, I mean, here's the thing that got you to want to see it.
Yes.
Imagine if you went into it just like, oh, we're going to see Overlord tonight, and then you went and you were like, whoa, what the fuck?
You were expecting a World War II movie, like on some. I was like, oh yeah, I love Dunkirk. Let me go ahead and watch Overlord, and then it's like,
which that might happen to some people, which will be very interesting to see their reactions.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because I think about there's a game called, I think the game's called Overlord, but it's like,
but that was like a fantasy. Are you talking about that one? Yeah,
where
you had
like,
little minions
like
and stuff.
It's like Pikmin, where you control your little minions and that, which is a really cool concept. So that's what I thought of at first, and then obviously that was very far from what the movie was, of course. But yeah, if you get a chance, check it out if you want to.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's really that kind of came out of nowhere. Now, speaking of sci-fi, the last trailer that I think that's the last one I can think of that I really saw, and one of the other ones besides the Star Wars one that I was like genuinely excited for, and that was the new Godzilla trailer.
Oh yes.
They're like all the old school. Like if you're a fan or if you've watched any of the old school Godzilla movies, which a lot of them are nowadays, especially borderline hysterical, like hilarious. Because I always, every time I log into Tumblr now, like somebody puts up fucking like a bunch of the old school monsters, like the intro gif, where it's like, and there's one in particular, I don't know what this thing was, but it looked like a dirty Furby. And it like pops out of the ground, and then it like looks at the camera, and it's like, ah. And it's like, that's the gif. Like, it's like one picture is like Godzilla. The second one is of this thing like landing and like bending up, like with its mouth like closed. And then you click the last gif, and it's just like, dah, and it like attacks. Like, but the movement is so funny because it's obviously, we're talking about puppets.
Yeah.
On like a little shitty set.
Or people in suits.
Right, exactly. Or people in suits. So, very, for the time, great, but now like very crappily made suits. But looking at this Godzilla movie with them like King of the Monsters, like that means fucking everybody.
Right. They had like seeing Mothra.
Oh my god.
Seeing King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Pop out of a damn volcano.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Seeing
that last shot. That shot in the smoke, and you just see like the silhouettes.
Jeez,
dude, it looks great.
It looks crazy, especially like the fact that it's like, oh, well then let's just instead of let them fight, just let them all come out.
Right. Yeah.
Bringing everybody into the fray.
Because the whole thing, at least from what I've gotten from this storyline, it's Millie Bobby Brown is in it. She seems like
11
she's gonna be
from Stranger Things.
11 from Stranger Things. I think she's gonna be pretty much like the main character focus. There's other main characters because there's my dude from Star Trek. I forgot his fucking name. The guy that plays the Doctor. I forgot his name.
Not Simon Pegg.
No. I forgot the actor's name. The dark haired guy.
Carl Urban.
Yeah.
Who played Dredd.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
He's in it. And then it seems like Millie Bobby Brown's mom thinks that like unleashing all these monsters is gonna help. But
the way she described it was that
it was like the world was basically gonna like.
It was. She said it like the world is like when kind of like in the human body, when you have a fever, you sweat it out to kind of get rid of the sickness.
Exactly.
The way she made it seem like it was that the humans. Well, I mean, back to that political commentary that Godzilla used to be.
Right.
Like humans are the infection, and so Mother Nature or like the Earth is trying to sweat it out.
Yeah.
And apparently, sweat it out means bring giant 50-foot monsters.
Yeah.
Or 50 or 100-meter monsters. Well, yeah, whatever the fuck height they are.
I mean, it depends on which ones you're talking about.
so wipe out humankind.
Yeah.
So why bring all of them together to wipe them out?
Well, here's the thing. She said like all of humankind would basically be wiped out unless we get these monsters out. But it seems like the whole thing is like she's saying that, but then everybody starts to catch on because there's that scene in the trailer where Millie Bobby Brown like looks at her like you're a monster or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
which is pun intended probably.
Well, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't a pun.
Well, I mean,
it was like symbolism.
Yeah,
It was
right.
like,
Well, yeah,
who's the real monster here?
Exactly. Yeah.
Back to the zombie shit.
right. But basically, where it seems like everybody's gonna figure like, oh, by fixing it, she means culling the herd, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like these monsters.
Population control type
Exactly.
shit.
Yeah. And then you see those very like cool shots of like even fucking Mothra just flying.
Yeah, a giant moth.
Just,
you would think is the wackest fucking monster out of all of them.
And it like literally leveled the city.
Just like
it was gorgeous, but it like when that one flap, and it just like leveled like that city.
I missed it. I missed that part.
Yeah, because there's like a distinct like you see the shadow like flying over the city, and then like you can see like it flapped, and then like obviously the wind gust from 100-meter size wings. It just like all the buildings just destroyed them. So it's one I'm interested to see like those classic fucking monsters redone in this new like the technology that we have now, because I love the way Godzilla looks. Godzilla's fucking like a beast now.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's getting more of his powers.
Oh, that part 2 of that animated CG movie that's on Netflix. I just found that out that just came out.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
okay. Yeah. Right. Okay.
So yeah,
And then of course, if you know, this is the setup for like we've got this one,
yes,
and then of course after that is
King Kong versus Godzilla.
Which I still feel like. Well, I guess he was bigger, because the thing is, the problem I keep thinking about the first King Kong movie with Jack Black.
The Peter Jackson. Well, it's not the first.
Peter Jackson.
King
Well,
Kong
yeah,
movie,
yeah.
The Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Peter Jackson's King Kong movie, where he had a very distinct size, but in the newer one, he's much, much, much larger.
And according to the movie, he was still growing.
Yeah, exactly.
So
obviously, when he finally meets up with with Godzilla, who is fucking ridiculous size wise, his weight class will hopefully be a little bit better, because otherwise he's gonna get wrecked.
And they got completely different speeds too, as far as how the movies were. So I don't know how they're going to kind of bring those together and just kind of. Well, I don't know. I don't know how the physics is going to work on that.
It's going to be interesting. Like I said, the fact that Godzilla's powers are opening up too.
Mm-hmm.
So King Kong just fights. So I mean, like Godzilla at his max can do some shit.
Yeah,
like,
unless he develops like some ice breath or some shit.
Right? Yeah.
Or Ultra Instinct or some shit.
Right. Yeah. We need Ultraman to come in.
Speaking of Ultra Instinct, do you see the trailer for Dragon Ball Super Broly?
Yes, Broly looks so good, just like that Broly.
It was kind of weird. It was like I was in there watching it, like I was in there looking at the trailer. I was like, wait a minute, didn't we do this already?
Yeah, right.
Because it was exactly like. But yeah, I gotta catch up on Dragon Ball Super as far as, because it seems like it's kind of like a, not really necessarily a reboot.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah. I think it kind of is, because the thing is, Broly wasn't canon originally, as far as like compared to where we are now to where we were.
Okay, as far as like when he just showed up in the movie, like he kind of, his only appearance was in a movie.
Exactly.
And well, his next appearance is in a movie, but still.
Right. But I think this is kind of like reinserting his storyline, which the whole thing with, of course, his original like motivation, which was one of the stupidest motivations of any villain ever. He basically was just mad at Goku because he cried when he was a baby and it annoyed him. That was it originally. That was his motivation originally. And I'm interested to see what it is now. And then one of the theories, of course, I don't know if you listened to the past episode of Super Best.
I might have missed it.
Okay. They kind of like, Pat brought up a potential theory that like Broly is not normal Saiyan. He's basically genetically engineered Saiyan by Frieza's people.
That test tube at the very end kind of makes more sense. Well, not test tube, but that little chamber.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a little more sense as far as what I was looking at.
I don't want that though. I want him to just be. I like the fact that he was just like this distant cousin that's fucking massive, and is just like way OP. But I just don't want his motivation to be that dumb anymore. Goku cried and it made me sleepy. Like, it's such a dumb fucking motivation. But I do like his design. I like that design a lot. Like the dark hair, that kind of his outfit. I like that design better than the big spiky green fucking goofy shit. I mean, that's kind of who you think of with Broly, but I do like the new design better. Well, we'll see how that comes out. Yeah, but it's,
Hooray, San Diego Comic-Con 2018.
yeah, always a shit ton of crazy stuff. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
Besides like normal little tidbits, like of course Rick is leaving Walking Dead. We kind of knew that was coming. That kind of shit. I was about to say Walter White reunion thing, the Breaking Bad reunion thing. Yeah, but other than that, those are the main things I could think of. Not really that much gaming stuff that I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, anyways, we will move on from Comic-Con.
Well, let's get into music. All right, which do you want to discuss? Well, let's just go for it right quick. I don't have a whole lot to say about the internet's hive mind.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I listened to that when I was playing Absolver.
Okay.
And it was storming still.
I saw your tweet.
And it was fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it was just stormy night, summertime.
Yeah.
I'm on the couch.
Yeah.
Lights are off. PlayStation on.
Yeah.
Wife is off to the side playing her video game.
Yeah.
And I was just going like, yeah.
Yeah.
This is
it's great.
I want to repeat this mood nightly.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it has a great fucking mood to it. Like even if you weren't doing anything, like if you wanted to clean around the house or just ride around the city at night, or just sit on the damn balcony while it's raining.
Oh yeah, and
just kind of listen to it and just kind of vibe out. It just has that perfect feel to it. Like that's kind of their lane to begin with.
Absolutely. It made me think. There's two things it made me think of. One, it made me think of if you've ever, it always pops up as a suggestion on mine when I'm listening to certain kind of music on YouTube. But that like, ultra low. It says like the title's like ultra lo-fi, like chill hip hop beats, and it's got that
music
girl
to
like
study
sitting,
too.
It's got that girl like sitting on that computer, like she's sitting. It looks like she's sitting in a cockpit,
spaceship.
In a spaceship, and she's like leaning like back. Yeah. That made me think of that.
My favorite one of those live channels.
Yeah.
I listen to those at work.
They're
I'll play.
Really good.
Oh, if you listen to lo-fi hip hop,
and
listen to like podcasts that don't have music, it flows perfectly.
That's great.
Also, if you do if you watch YouTube videos or one tab, the lo-fi playing, and then somebody that doesn't have music is commenting about something or going through a playthrough or something like that, it's dope as fuck.
That's great.
The first discovery I came across, if I'm playing the lo-fi music in one tab, and listening to Malcolm X speeches on the other tab.
Oh man,
nigga,
it's so good. That's crazy. Okay, Okay,
I even sometimes do it with our podcast.
Really good.
When I first did it with the first time I did it, I was in there listening to that and I was playing or like working.
Yeah.
And then I found a link to sit there they had 2 hours worth of Malcolm X speeches and appearances on television.
Yeah.
And just played it. And I was like, yo.
That's so good. I love that. That's perfect. I mean, that makes sense.
And it's like, it's funny too, because it's like, you could picture that as like a brief break in somebody's music.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's kind of what somebody does anyways. Like right before they start their song or right when they end their song, they'll sit there and have Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or Bruce Lee or saying something profound.
Yeah.
And then the beat drops and stuff like that. But no, the beat was going. They are the lyrics.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yo, it is fucking amazing.
Really
it's mind blowing. Like
that's really good.
I rank that higher than ASMR.
That's right. That's really good.
I need a name for it though.
I know. Yeah, we'll have to define
we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
We might have to start like an OAF live channel, and we'll just do that. We'll just play like old speeches, like Malcolm X, Bruce Lee, like
Muhammad Ali play while lo-fi is playing at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Have the credits for whichever the speech was, the date of the speech, and then the credit of whatever that song is playing.
Obama
and just
speeches. It'd be so great. That's really.
I'm gonna try that out with Trump. See what happens.
Yeah, right. You need dubstep.
I was sit there I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it at lo-fi. Try listening to Trump, and then going I'll sit there, call you up. It's like, hey, Swift. I think he might be on to something.
That'd be so good. Oh man!
I did something.
The other thing that I always think about when I hear the internet is this feeling of like I've heard them for the first time in a venue and be like, "Hey, yeah, I was at Green Lantern last night. I heard this band called The Internet, and they're really fucking good. That's always the mindset that I feel
That's quite the bar you threw out there.
Right. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, it's very specific, but that's kind of the feeling always. Cause I mean, they are like, and I don't mean this as any kind of like, negative toward them, but they are like, they are independent. They are their own, like you said, they have their own lane. They have their very own distinct sound. They have a very smooth, very easy to listen to sound, and their songs flow in and out of each other better than God most people I can think of.
Yeah.
And no, I enjoyed it. It was good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Should we bother with a rating on this one, or?
Oh, because I don't know what I would. I mean, I guess
like it's a good album to me.
Absolutely.
As far as compared to the previous one, Ego Death.
Ego Death. Yeah.
Did I say that right?
I think so.
That's the name of the previous one. All right, yeah. I like Ego Death more, probably because there's a little bit of Kaytranada in there, and Girl is fucking timeless.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I like this one not as I like Ego Death better. So kind of comparing it to itself, I'm gonna give it a shiny silver.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's close to gold.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm gonna rock. Yeah, I'm gonna rock with that.
That's perfect. Yeah, that makes sense. That's perfect. Sweet.
Next, technically not an EP from Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
Technically 4 complete separate singles.
Yep.
And they read off as follows.
Yep.
I Might Need Security.
Yep.
Workout. Walla Cam. Walla, W-A-L-A, Cam, C-A-M.
Yep.
And the last one, 65th and Ingleside.
Yep.
I like them.
Yeah.
I liked I Might Need Security the most out of all 4 of them because of that Jamie Foxx sample.
Absolutely.
And I just remember, like, when I was younger, like, as a family watching that stand-up special, there was no fucking reason we should have been, there was no reason we should have been watching it, like, me and my sister at the age we were at.
Right, yeah.
But, you know, that brought good memories, like nostalgia kicking
Absolutely.
in, and the fact that was one of the times, like, where we found out that Jamie Foxx could sing as well as do comedy.
Absolutely.
And you know, just to kind of bring those memories back as far as playing that, and then for him to be spitting the way he was on there, and like the way they flipped the sample,
it was great.
That was my favorite one out of all of them. My second favorite, Workout, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, compared to it was going to be a tie between Workout and Walla Cam.
Okay.
But I think Workout edged it out a little bit more, just for I kind of dug more of what he had to say on that one, especially talking about his ex in a very petty way, but then come right back to, it's like, I was kidding.
Yeah.
She looks better than me. It's like saying, but he was rhyming ugly for like 16 bars talking about his ex. So
yeah.
All right.
It's really funny.
Walla Cam. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
65th and Ingleside. I know this is kind of the backwards for you, but this is my last favorite.
Yeah.
Out of all 4 of these.
Yeah.
I think it was more the sample. It just kind of like compared to I Might Need Security. Well, that being the first one I listened to anyway.
Yeah.
65th and Ingleside was the last one I heard, and then just kind of like it didn't stick with me as much compared to the other two, first 2.
Yeah. Gotcha. So. I think I'd probably go. I Might Need Security, 65th and Ingleside, then a Workout and Walla Cam.
Okay.
I liked like listening to what he was saying on I Might Need Security made it like the best for me because he's like addressing like a lot of the any kind of like judgment stuff he's gotten, and then talking about on 65th and Ingleside, like talking about all his exes in kind of a way that's like I hope y'all are good because I'm good type thing. It's a really, and like I like that kind of like thing of not just like not having to dog them out because like I'm in a good place, I'm fine, type thing, and that's really good. That's really relatable. And then him talking about, of course, because he bought that website, the Chicagoist, and he like announced that was how he announced that was through that, which was interesting. And then of course, like you said, like Workout. Like that one a lot. I like these 4 together, and it's interesting because they all had a really like. Some of them felt like Coloring Book. Really, almost most of them felt like Coloring Book. But then Walla Cam kind of had this like harkening back to a little bit more of like acid rap a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's still, like I said, it still had that kind of like smooth tone from like Coloring Book. But Walla Cam felt like that's like he always has one, or he does one with somebody else that's like, this is for Chicago.
Right.
Like this is for Chicago. This is for the Chicago like dance scene. This is like that's what that kind of felt like. Which he always does those really well. But yeah, that would be the way I would have to order them. Which they can't really get a rating because this isn't like a collective thing. But as far as like, I did enjoy them, and it was nice to get those, especially because he kind of like joked around and teased that he was going to put out something like a new project, and then everybody found out it wasn't a new project, and then this ended up being what it was, and then was just these 4 kind of separate tracks, and then that's what we got, and it was good. I'm hoping we got a new album coming soon, but of course the biggest thing like recently that he came out and said is that Kanye is supposed to be going to Chicago to work with him on his basically like Kanye produced 7-track like project.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see how that comes out. Like I said before, I think we had mentioned it on a previous episode. I mean, it's just gonna be a Kanye / it's just gonna be a Chance album. like that 100. Like, as much as they've worked in the past together and stuff, and how, especially production wise, how similar their tones are at times. I mean, it's probably just gonna be just like Coloring Book, etc. or whatever. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right.
Yeah.
So since technically it's not a full project,
Yeah.
we cannot.
Yeah,
it is
can't
disqualified
land-
from
it's
ratings.
It's disqualified from the rating thing, I think.
Or it did not meet. It didn't meet.
Requirements.
Yeah.
Proper criteria to be judged upon our normal rating system.
Yeah.
But yeah. So with that being said,
It sounded like an episode to me.
yeah, absolutely. Comic-Con fun, bunch of crazy stuff coming out. Like we said, check out those trailers. If you haven't got a chance, let us know what you think about those trailers. And let us know what you think about like them in detail, because I really want to see what people kind of like thought about the Teen Titans trailer, and then about Aquaman, about Godzilla, especially for anybody who's like big fans of these different properties and everything. And yeah, but get Absolver. Still free if you're in July.
Speaking of Comic-Con,
right
on the topic of Flash,
Yeah.
there is some audio I've been sitting on for a while from BTG
Okay.
in response to Brent's
Oh yeah.
about some comment and how, well, it's superhero related. So I will I'll add that at the end
Sweet.
and go from there.
Cool.
So,
Nice. I'll be looking forward to that. I don't know. We'll see. We might hold off since you're putting that at the end. We might put another song at the end.
I forgot
this
to do
one.
that on the last
No,
episode.
you're
I
fine.
apologize.
You're fine. But yeah, like I said, let us know what you thought about those trailers and everything. Anything else that you saw at Comic-Con that you really liked or whatever. But yeah, as always, you can find us OafDiscussions@gmail.com. You can find us Facebook.com/group/OafDiscussions. Join that group. There's a lot of good people in there. Yeah, I am at K and Kid Swift on Twitter. I'm at feature_ASC on Instagram. Where you at?
Catch this webbing. Web859 on Twitter. Web.859 on Instagram. At OafDiscussions on Twitter and Instagram.
Yep.
LL Cool B22 on both platforms, correct? For
Yep.
him?
Yep.
That
Both
works.
of them. Yep.
With that being said, Oaf Discussions, Oaf Reviews, San Diego Comic-Con 2018 is a wrap.
Yep. Very
Deuces.
nice. See you guys next time. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been Oaf Discussions. Please listen to us on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play now, Stitcher, audio episodes on YouTube as well. And so that's all we have today. Thank you very
guys.
much for listening, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Appreciate it. Peace.
There we are. Oaf Discussions Pioneers.
Quickly.
Confirmed.
Make the meme and then put the @big thing on there with the stupid little graphic like every other goddamn internet comedian does. We got to get these views, baby.
OAF. It's your boy BTG. Haven't hit y'all up in a long time, but I must say this. So I'm listening to the Delvin Cox Experience. You know what I'm saying? And I hear my boy, LL Cool B, Brent the God. He said that he would want to be Flash or have Flash abilities. And you know what? I can't knock that. This is the only thing, though. What happens when you turn 68? All right? And you still got that Flash speed. That's Gucci. But you might get a heart attack running that fast, man. You got to slow it down. This is why I personally chose either Deadpool, Wolverine, which is somewhat similar, and then I said Nightcrawler. I would pick Nightcrawler versus Flash. You want to know why? Because you probably can get there real fast, but I can just poof and be right there. You see what I'm saying? Now, in the looks department, Nightcrawler, Deadpool, definitely losing. Okay? They're definitely losing that battle. But, I mean, you can't beat Deadpool, though. You know what I'm saying? Now, I would probably walk around with a mask. We didn't say we had to look like them. We just said their abilities, their powers, this, that, and the third. I think I would want to be Deadpool. Because I know I can get into a fight and come out with the W. Probably won't be that much pain. You know? It take a while for my hand to grow back. You know, peanut butter and jelly. That peanut butter and jelly won't be as efficient with a small hand. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. All right, y'all. I just wanted to send some feedback. Oh, and tomorrow is Friday. Just to give you an idea of around what time I'm sending this feedback. It's the day before Drake releases his album, and I can care less. I mean, I'm going to listen to it because I want to see if he come back with any subs towards Pusha T, which won't count. But I just want to see if he had the audacity to do that. If he does, that's foul. You're just going to lose if you're light skinned.